Am I the a-hole for not letting my dad's friend inside the house? I, 24F, am a daughter to a divorced couple. They separated when I was 3, and since then I have always lived with my mom. I had a good relationship with my dad until I turned 14, when he started a family of his own, and we rarely got to see each other. The frequent catching up became sporadic on both sides very quickly. The house where I live is my mom's house, but before the divorce it was the house where we lived as a family. My dad is really familiar with the house and the entirety of the apartment complex. One of the other person living in our complex is my dad's best friend. Let's call him Paul. They know each for 30 plus years, and my dad always described him as a family friend. Both me and my mom never quite liked him. After my parents divorced, when my mom and I meet Paul in the communal spaces, we do some polite small talks, but nothing more since we simply don't enjoy his company. But it has happened a couple of times that for complex-related things he came up into our house uninvited. He is someone that doesn't understand boundaries, and that makes us really uncomfortable. Last time, using a maintenance excuse, he stayed for 2 hours and a half, actively asking for coffee more than once, and when he wanted something more to drink, he just went straight to the fridge without asking. Trust me, I am a really welcoming person, but the way he acts and his soft entitlement really rubs me the wrong way. Back to my dad. He just got a new job that makes him drive by my house, so it became a spontaneous habit for him to come by once every week. I was really excited at first, but it became pretty apparent from the start that it was not going to be what I expected. 3 times out of the average 4 monthly visits, he hangs out with Paul in my living room. Most of the time when I call to check when he will arrive, he is at Paul's and they just come at my door and stay both for a couple of hours, take a coffee or two before vanishing. Last week when I asked my dad to come watch a movie, it was no different. He called me, told me that he was at Paul's, and simply added, "We're coming in a minute." I just snapped. I told him that I wanted only him to come by and that I didn't want Paul in the house. He asked me why and I explained that I just didn't want Paul there. He exploded. He told me that I was extremely rude for not inviting him. He kept saying, "Since when Paul cannot come to our house?" I just responded that technically that was not his house, and that if he really wanted to spend some time with Paul, they could have one elsewhere. He hung up on me and never showed up. I wasn't expecting that reaction from him, and I felt extremely betrayed because I thought our hanging time was more important than Paul. When later I told my mom what happened, she said that I did the right thing and that my dad is known to be dismissive and extremely angry when he doesn't get what he wants. I still feel bad. Maybe I could have overlooked Paul's presence, but I don't know. Am I the a-hole? Would I be the a-hole if I asked my roommate to keep it down in the bathroom? My roommate, who's actually a close family friend of mine, jacks off really loudly in the bathroom. To be honest, it can get hella awkward hearing him do that. At first I put up with it, but ever since him and his GF broke up, it's been happening daily at least. Would I be the a-hole if I mentioned it to him or asked him to do it when I'm not at home? What's your thoughts? Anyone else dealt with similar experiences? Edit for those wondering. We share a room and the bathroom has no fan, given the fapping sounds being quite noticeable.